Look out, YouTube. What is going on? It's a little bit after 6 o'clock p.m. I want to give a big thank you to everybody for helping me go over the 100 subscriber uh, the 100 subscriber mark. With that, there's a lot of things that open up to YouTubers. Uh, you get a community tab. You get to change um, your your moniker. So uh, again, appreciate that. Uh, a special shout out to Rollo on the Seven Talk, uh, New Breed, um, Ringo TV Raw, and Mark the Messenger and other brothers that's in this truth that went out of their way to support and help make this possible. This is a special live stream in the sense that I've been in Enid, Oklahoma for a year. Uh, I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas. Uh, but a large part of the reason why I decided to move to Enid was because it's a smaller town, and with things progressing the way they are in these last days, um, it just was my personal decision that I wanted to move somewhere that was smaller, more secluded, that would help me to focus and um, really take things in so I can live life and not just exist. Um, what I did just before I did this live stream, I came up with 15 different things. That's right. These aren't the only 15 things I've learned in this year, but there are 15 different things that I could just think of right off the top of the dome. I could have been here writing for hours, and that would have made the live stream like ridiculously long. So, without further ado, I'm gonna read these 15 things. Those who do, pop in. Make sure that you like the video as you come in. Uh, Leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That helps me out in the algorithms. Just wanted to throw that out there before I get started with my list. Um, First thing, this ain't the first thing I learned, but this is the first thing I thought of at the top of my head when I made this list. And it was don't stay anywhere that has you stagnant. You don't want to stay anywhere that has you stagnant. You should be able to see progress. This was part of the reason why I left Houston. Um, I had spent 39 plus years, well, save the 1 year I did live in Enid, Oklahoma when I was 9 years old in the fourth grade. Um, but the other 38 years of my life was spent in Houston, Texas. And I noticed that, I hadn't really made any real progress. Um, I did get married, but the one marriage I did have, it ended in divorce. Um, I had no children to show for it. I hadn't started any businesses. I was basically working just 9 to 5s. The vast majority of people that were in my life were either at the level that I was at or they weren't at the level that I was at. And they weren't really encouraging me to progress. So when you factor all those things in, probably time to make a move, man. Probably time to make a move. People really downplay how important environment is to your progress, especially being a man and you want to be a leader and you want to be the foundation of a family and of a community and of an organization. You have to have the right environment for you to progress, and you got to take time, you know, uh, weekly, monthly, annually to check your progress to see whether or not you've actually improved or you regressed. You know what I'm saying? And this basically is what this is. Just kind of charting my progress. It's kind of a report card, if you will. You know, so to speak. Second thing that I could think of at the top of my head that I learned, when you do move, you want to make sure you have all your ducks lined up in a row. You want to count the costs, like it says in Luke chapter 12 and verse 28. Um, what's your situation with your transportation? Do you have a vehicle to drive from the old location to the new location? I'm gonna I'm gonna stop right there because if I had it, I'm not gonna even lie. If I had a chance to do the move from Houston to Enid all over again, I would make sure that I had a vehicle to actually travel from that distance to another. I caught a plane. Then after I got off the plane, I had to take an Uber. What's up? What's up, Infinite Mark? What's going on, man? But yeah, I had to get off the plane from Houston to Oklahoma City, then take an Uber from Oklahoma City to Enid. So I look at that as unnecessary money that I had to spend when really all I would have had to do is take my own vehicle and head. I appreciate you for subscribing, Infinite Mark. I really do. I would have been able to take my own vehicle from my hometown of Houston to Enid and really probably would have only had to gas up one time, maybe twice. So that's a lesson learned for me going forward. When I make my next move from Enid to whatever I decide to move, I don't know if that'll be next year. I don't know if that'll be in 2 years. I don't know if that'll be in 5 years. But whenever I make that next move, I'm gonna make sure I have a vehicle. I'm gonna make sure I have an established business or some kind of certification that I can take with me to where I can have some residual income so I don't if I decide that I want to work a 9 to 5 at the new spot, I won't be solely reliant on the 9 to 5. But that little point I made also comes up in another point. So I ain't gonna delve into that too much. Um, Another thing that I want to, I made sure I had a place to stay, but that place to stay was with my brother because we made the move together. And that's a whole another point that I'm gonna get into in a few minutes. Um, Next go round, when I do move, because now I'm really up here by myself. So next go round, wherever I move, I'm gonna make sure that uh that place to stay is secured before I even fully move there. Like I'm gonna survey that area, find me a place to stay. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I secure that rent, or if it's gonna be you know what I'm saying, just land and I choose to, build my own house brick by brick, or you know what I'm saying, whatever community or compound, whatever I choose to do, you know what I'm saying, buy on that plot. Courtney, what's going on, my Coco? Glad you was able to join the stream. But back to the back to the stream. Whether, like I said, whether it's a house, whether it's a property, you know what I'm saying, land or whatever, I'm gonna make sure that I already have that secured before I commit to that full move. So just a couple things that, like I said, I've learned on that number two one. Number three, move when you're ready and when you hear. For those of us who are spiritually inclined, this is especially for my Hebraic brothers and sisters. Also, move when you hear the Most High's voice telling you to move, not when somebody else tries to make you ready. And this ain't no knock against my brother. I love him. You know what I'm saying? But um, the Most High was telling me to move before that year was up. You know, he was telling me, yeah, go ahead and let your brother go ahead and move first, but stack your bread for maybe another month or two, then move. With when either move up there with your brother or move and get your own spot. See, if I had a chance to do that over again, because when I got to Enid, when I got up here to Enid, I didn't find employment until the end of December. December 29th is when I started where I work at right now in Walmart. So I look at that as telling me, hey, I should have came up here in December. That's when I should have came up here. I should have came up here in November of last year. I should have came up here in December. That was the time for me to move. I should have spent another month in Houston, stacked me some bread, you know what I'm saying? And then that way I'd have had a car. And then what I could have done while I had that other bread, you know what I'm saying? I could have had my car and I could have even been, you know what I'm saying, doing some Uber or Lyft while I was still in Houston, having some more bread. Because I had a little bread. That's why I was able to move. But that could have been that much more bread. And I could have secured my own place. Then I would have had a car, so I wouldn't have had to been so reliant on a 9 to 5. I still would have probably got the 9 to 5 at Walmart, but I wouldn't have to be there as long because I would have been able to secure other um, um, other employment. You know what I'm saying, that would make me more mobile. You know what I'm saying, and it wouldn't take me as long to get other things accomplished. So, like I said, that's a lesson learned. You move when you're ready and when the Most High is telling you to move. You don't listen. You don't listen to nobody else because you know what's best for you, and the Most High knows what's best for you. This one was a tough one. Number 4. It's interesting you brought out a chick that you was talking to that was trying to get you to move to LA, Infinite Mark, and how her friend was asking you to move too. This kind of goes into my number 4. Because when I was in Houston, I was in a relationship. We had been together over a year, and you know we made, even after the move, we made it all the way to August of this year. Before things kind of went south, but this is what that taught me. If you're in a relationship at the time of your move, and especially this is especially for brothers. If you're in a relationship at the time of your move, and your woman, even if she don't move in the same area you move to, but if she don't come to see you even within 90 days, bruh, she either looking to replace you or she done already replaced you. I'm gonna say that again. This is especially for brothers. It can apply to sisters too with brothers, but this mainly applies to brothers when they move and they talking to a particular sister. If you in a relationship at the time of your move, and your relationship finna go from a local close quarters relationship, now it's gonna be some long distance type stuff, and she don't come to see you, bro, within 90 days, she either looking to replace you or she done already replaced you. Lesson not learned. Lesson not learned. That's some real talk. Now, does that mean that if that individual comes back to you and wants to do things over, that you don't take them back? That's your business. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do as far as their personal relationship. But at the same time, that's very revelatory about that person's character if they would allow a move that you made to cause them to want to end the relationship. That's very revelatory about their character and, you know what I'm saying, how shady that person might be. So it's something to think about. Moving somewhere make you want to break up with me? Wow, okay. You wasn't fully invested to begin with. Number sixth thing I learned. Know the difference between people who support you in word and people who support you in deed. You know, I learned this from my parents and my grandparents, man. A pair of lips say anything. People can tell you, I love you. And this don't even have to just be, you know, in no intimate relationship. This can be family members, friends, you know what I'm saying? Colleagues, co-workers. They can say all the I love yous and all the pleasantries and everything like that. But a person that really cut for you, if they really cut for you, man, they're gonna break bread with you. Bottom line. When people really support you, they're gonna put their money where their mouth is. Period. And that's not to say that you money hungry or anything like that. This ain't about being money hungry. But even the scriptures say this. You know what I'm saying? The love that's unadulterated is the love that takes care of widows and orphans and fatherless boys. In other words, you know what I'm saying? You make sure individuals like that got food, clothing, shelter. If they in need from a financial standpoint, you're gonna help them with a few breadsticks. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say that you support somebody, to say that you love somebody, and it's a whole nother thing to show it. Got to put your money where your mouth is. Other words, them just empty words. It's like what Nino Brown say. You got to learn the difference between regular mail and express priority. Got to learn that difference because there's a huge difference in regular mail and express priority. The people that support you, the people that break bread with you, the people that's willing to do things from a financial standpoint for you, that's express priority. People that's willing to come see you, spend time with you, build with you on the real, help support your vision, that's express priority. The people that only want to chill with you when you spending your breadsticks, when you helping them out, that's regular mail. So shout out to Nino Brown on that. Love that. I love how he broke that down. So I decided to use it in this here live stream. And see, I'm the type, if I get something from a content creator, man, I'm gonna call them out and I'm gonna bless their game. They gonna see it in my live stream. And I'm gonna shout that brother or that sister out. That's how I roll. That's how I get out. I'm not one of these fake content creators that use people's stuff and then don't give them credit. We don't play that around here. So my number 7 that I thought of at the top of my dome. I put the Most High. Put the Most High YHWH first in everything you do. You gotta let Yah show you how you should move. And when he show you how you gotta move, then you gotta trust that. Just like it says in Proverbs, man, we gotta trust the Most High with all our heart and lean it not on our understanding. And all his ways take notice of him. And he himself will make your path straight. You know? And that's one thing I learned because again, like I said, I moved up here with my brother. And and it was good. It helped me build the springboard to where I could kind of do things on my own, you know what I'm saying? I was able to save my breadsticks while he took care of the rent, but at the same time, there were certain things I observed, you know what I'm saying, to help me see that I needed to move a little different, without putting my brother on blast because I love him and I'm not gonna sell his character, you know what I'm saying? But there were certain things that I seen and observed while I was living with him that helped me see I needed to move a little different. I still love my brother, but I needed to move a little different, and because I did, I'm seeing the Most High bless me. That's why after a year, I'm still up here. Everything ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying? But I can see that I'm progressing. When I first got up here, I didn't have my own place. I got my own place now. When I first got up here, I had left my stable job that I had in Houston. But now, even though, like I said, my job at Walmart, it ain't perfect, but it's still more than what I was making in Houston. So I'm seeing progress, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting my trust in the Most High. And I got other things coming in the future. I ain't gonna really put out there because I'm not the type of person to let the left hand know what the right hand is doing because I know there's agents out here watching, trying to find out what I'm doing. So, like I said, just look out for, future moves. That's gonna help me progress. Number 8, this is a big one. When people show you who they are, believe it the first time and don't waste time trying to convince yourself otherwise. That kind of goes. This is kind of touching on, relationship too. You know what I'm saying? Because especially if you going again from, y'all being able to drive within 5 minutes of each other to now y'all like 8, 9, 10 hours away. When you start to see a change, and now you starting to see the real them, so to speak. And phone calls go from, y'all doing each other every day and doing with each other, not just every day, but several times a day, whether y'all at work or not, to now all of a sudden it goes maybe to once a day. Once a day becomes twice a week. Twice a week becomes once a month. They showing you who they are. So you gotta believe them the first time, man. Might hurt you, might make you shed some tears, but hey, life goes on. Also, number 9, this is something I feel like us as Hebraic people have to work on, man. Because some of us get so fixated on the other nations and the Gentiles and should we accept help from the Gentiles? This is why the scriptures say take get help by means of the unrighteous riches. You got to take help wherever you can get it. Because if you limit yourself to Hebrews only helping you, you might be waiting forever and a day, man. I ain't gonna say might. If you limit yourself to only Hebrews helping you, you're gonna be waiting forever and a day on that help, man. For the most, for the most part, 90%. If you waiting on only Hebrews to help you, man, you could, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Outside, I ain't talking about the genuine, Hebrews, but I'm talking about the vast majority of Hebrew people, real Hebrew people. You try to wait on them, yeah, you can forget it, man. Uh, it could very well be the other nations that might give you the most abundant blessings, man. And that can be in a number of ways. That could be financially. This might make a lot of sisters that's Hebrew upset. But let's say you in a land, right, where there aren't a whole lot of available Hebrew sisters, and the ones that are available, they not desirable. And I ain't talking about from a look standpoint, because a woman could be desirable in the looks and she could just be rottenness to the bones, far as who she is on the inside. So if that's the case, any brother, if you find yourself in that situation, man, and the women of the other nations are more desirable as a concubine and or wife, bruh, do what you got to do. You got to take help wherever you can get it, whether that's financial, whether that's mentally, whether that's emotionally. If you're a brother that's desiring to be with a woman, that can be sexually as well. I'm not here to judge nobody. Who am I to tell a brother he can't have a woman of the other nations? If that woman of the other nations is more submissive than a Hebrew sister, hey, bruh, do your thing. Do your thing. Number 11 and 12, they're related. The goal is to have multiple streams of income, especially if you're a brother, because brothers, we're supposed to be the leaders of families, communities, and organizations. And if you're a type of brother that's still doing a 9 to 5, what you want your 9 to 5 to do is support whatever your passion is. Once your passion supersedes the income that you get from your 9 to 5, and this is a general rule that I use, you know what I'm saying? If my passion then got to the point to where it's making double what my 9 to 5 is, I don't need the 9 to 5 no more. I'm gonna say that again. If my passion gets to the point to where it's doubling my 9 to 5, then I don't need my 9 to 5 anymore. That's my goal, you know what I'm saying, especially going into 2023. I want my passion to double whatever my 9 to 5 gets. And once that happens, then my 9 to 5 is out of here. And it's gonna happen because I'm claiming it in the name of the Most High Yah. It's gonna happen for me. Number 13, travel frequently. I'm gonna say it again. Travel frequently. You don't want to stay confined in one little area. You got to get off. You got to get out of your house and you got to get off the couch. Because when you find somebody that all they do is work and go home, 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 you're just existing. And I know that from experience because I went through that. I lived that life for almost 20 years. All I was doing was working and going home. You want to see the fruits of your labor. You want to travel and see different places. As a 40-year-old man, I hate to admit it, but I haven't even traveled to every single state in the United States. I haven't even seen all of the USA. I have been to other countries, to other lands, but even that I haven't traveled to different parts of different world, different parts of the world like I want to. It's still been in this particular in this particular hemisphere, still been in the Western Hemisphere, just a little bit more south. We talking about that Caribbean area, Mexico. I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to Jamaica. You know, but last time I went on and both times it was a cruise. Once when I was contemplating marriage. Another time when I was married to, you know, uh, my first wife. So, um, but I shouldn't only have two times that I've traveled on my resume, and I've been alive 4+ decades. That's got to change, and it will change by means of the Most High. Number 14. Take a break from social media. Very important. Those of us who have lived long enough to know we didn't always have the internet. We didn't always have social media. So you got to take some time to unplug from the matrix, get your caboose out of the house, away from your devices, and get out and do something. Get out and interact with some actual people. I ain't talking about online either. Interact with some actual people. Look people in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Actually converse with people. Let people know that you are an actual human and not a freaking avatar. It's very necessary to make you a well-rounded, healthy person. Our parents taught us to get out and go outside and play with our neighbors when we were kids for a reason. Because if you don't know how to socially maneuver in this world, man, it's going to set you back. Number 15. When you move, it should help you focus on self-improvement. This is especially for my brothers. Brothers, when you move, and this is where I fought the passport brothers at. Yeah, I'm gonna call them out. You know what I'm saying? This is the problem with the passport bros. They travel with the purpose of getting for JJ. They chasing women around the globe. That ain't the purpose of when you travel or when you move, man. The whole purpose when you travel and move is to focus on yourself. It's to improve yourself. It's to help you be a well-rounded person. You know what I'm saying? So that way you can experience, what I'm saying, different lands, different environments, see how people move in that particular area. So that can mature you, and that can give you something that you have where you can pass wisdom on to other people. Okay, in this particular place, they move like this, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? In this particular place, they do X, Y, and Z. That's the whole purpose of moving and traveling. So you can make yourself a better and more well-rounded person. It's not to be chasing the JJ. So to, round up, do a summary of the 15 different things that I learned. Number 1, don't stay anywhere that has you stagnant. You got to be able to see progress. Number 2, when you actually do move, make sure you have all your ducks lined up in a row. Like Luke 12:28 says, you got to count the cost, man. You got to count the cost. What's your transportation looking like? What's the job market looking like where you're moving? And have you secured a job or some kind of income that you already got that you can take with you. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to move, but it's another thing to move comfortably, if you know what I mean. Number 3, move when you're ready and or when the Most High tells you to move. You know what I'm saying? Don't get wrapped up into what you hear somebody else tell you. You know what I'm saying? We may love whoever's telling us to move at a certain time, but that might not necessarily be when we need to move. Number 4, if you're in a relationship at the time you move, and whoever you're in a relationship with, yeah, this can be man or woman, but again, this is mainly talking to the fellas. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship at the time you move, and whoever you with don't come to see you within 3 months, i.e. 90 days, you might as well just cut that person off, man. Because unbeknownst to you, they are either preparing themselves for somebody else or they already got somebody else, man. Just move around. You know what I'm saying? That person ain't for you if they can't come to see you. If they can't save up enough bread in 90 days to come see you, let them go, dog. And they should finance the trip. Now, if they having a little trouble, I mean, you can go half, but nah, they gotta put some bread down too, man. If they can't come to see you and put down no bread after you done gave them a 90-day head start, forget it. Number 5, you want to have a good balance between business and recreation, because it's one thing to move somewhere, but then it's a whole nother thing to really know the whole layout of the land and not just the job market. You got to know, you know what I'm saying, what the recreation life is too. You know what I'm saying? That's important. You got to get out and enjoy life and have some fun, man. You know, that way you don't take yourself and take life so seriously, even though life is serious, but at the same time, you want to live, right? You want to live, or do you just want to exist? Number 6, again, you got to know the difference between people who support you in word, people who support you in deed. Number 7, put the Most High first in everything. Let them show you how you should move and trust it. Number 8, when people show you who they are, you got to believe it. You don't want to waste time convincing yourself otherwise, man, because all you're going to do is block blessings and might even bring some curses on yourself. Number 9, don't be afraid of the isolation period. Make good use of it. Let Yah use you so he can grow you. Number 10, take help wherever you can get it. You don't want to limit getting help from people who look like you. You know, because the nations might be the ones who give you the most abundant blessing, man. That could be in finances. That can be with, you know what I'm saying, somebody that you want to build with in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You know, that could be a number of things. Number 11, the goal is multiple streams of income. You don't want to just depend on the 9 to 5, which goes into number 12. The 9 to 5 should support your passion. And once your passion supersedes what your 9 to 5 makes, it's time to let that 9 to 5 go. Number 13, you want to travel frequently. That's why you need to get rid of the 9 to 5, because the 9 to 5 is what's keeping you from being able to travel. You know, you don't want to stay confined in one little area, man. That stunts progress. Number 14, man, you got to take a break from social media. It's very important. In this digital world, if you want to maintain any type of humanity, man, you got to get off of social media, period. And number 15, the whole purpose of a move is for self-improvement. It's not to be chasing the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm mainly aiming this at brothers. We got, you know what I'm saying, these passport bros that's going around to these different states, different countries, you know what I'm saying, what have you. out here chasing with JJ. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it. That's one of the quickest ways to get lined up, man. You can end up in a pine box out here trying to chase with JJ, man. There's a scripture in Proverbs. I want to say Proverbs 6:28 and 29. It talks about the womb of a woman leading to death. You know what I'm saying? So it's highly important, you know what I'm saying, especially being a man. Focus on self-improvement. Focus on your relationship with the Most High Yah. You know what I'm saying? Once you improve as a man, all those other things, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, women and children and all that stuff is going to happen naturally as you grow and progress as a man. Don't focus on that, man. Focus on improving yourself and improving your relationship with the Most High Yah. That's whether you decide to move or whether you decide to stay where you at. But like I said, me being who I am, I'm gonna encourage all men to, you know what I'm saying, to move. You don't want to spend your whole life staying in one particular city in one particular state or even one particular country, man. The Most High tells us in His Word we are aliens and temporary residents. What's up, Rollo? What's up, Rollo? I see you in the chat, my brother. Appreciate you joining the chat. But yeah, we're aliens and temporary residents. And since we are aliens and temporary residents, we are supposed to be nomadic. All of all of the ones who the Most High blessed on a high level, they were all nomadic. Abraham, Noah, um, you know, David, Solomon, even the Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was primarily in Israel, still he was all over Israel. He wasn't just in one particular spot because Israel is a large country. He didn't just limit himself to Bethlehem, Ephrathah. He was all over Israel, you know, preaching the good news. And even the apostles, as you know, saying they spread the word out after the Hamashiach, uh, you know, passed and went back to the heavens. They were all over the then known world. So if the apostles were all over the then known world, that's really giving us the game on what we need to be doing. We need to be all around the world, man, talking to people about the Most High. We can't just limit ourselves to America. You know what I'm saying? And we need to have properties in different areas too. You know what I'm saying? So we have to use whatever skills and talents that the Most High has given us and use that in order to further the kingdom message, man. That's the whole purpose for those of us who are believers and followers, you know, the Most High and the Hamashiach, man. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream. I appreciate everybody that showed up. Rollo, Courtney, um, you know, Infinite Mark. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, man. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High, man.